It is shortly after 9 a.m. on the morning of December 10, 1968. A steady, heavy rain falls across Tokyo. A black Nissan Cedric navigates the streets of Fuchū. Inside are 4 bank employees transporting cash to a local Toshiba factory to pay out year-end worker bonuses. This diagram compares the volume of a standard vehicle trunk to the physical mass of the cargo they are carrying, nearly 300 million yen. It is a massive physical payload. The 4 men inside the vehicle are tense. Just 4 days earlier, their branch manager received a letter demanding 3 million yen, threatening to blow up the bank if the money wasn't paid. They are guarding a fortune while anticipating an imminent attack. This combination of a valuable, high-volume payload and acute psychological stress creates a specific, lethal vulnerability. On a road just north of Fuchū prison, a lone figure signals the Cedric to stop. He is riding a light motorcycle and wearing the standard-issue white helmet and uniform of a Tokyo police officer. In 1960s Japan, the sight of a motorcycle officer is synonymous with absolute authority. The bank employees stop immediately, yielding to the visual cue of the uniform before a single word is even spoken. The officer approaches the window with a warning. He claims the branch manager's house has just been bombed, and that dynamite may be planted underneath their vehicle. He slides beneath the chassis to inspect it. Seconds later, thick smoke begins billowing from under the vehicle. The officer yells it will explode. Convinced of an imminent detonation, they abandon the vehicle and run for cover. With the crew voluntarily out of the way, the man stands up, gets behind the wheel of the Cedric, and drives off. No guns are drawn, no physical force is used. In roughly 3 minutes, the perpetrator has used the victim's own trust and fear to completely clear the crime scene. Police quickly locate the hijacked Nissan Cedric in a cemetery just 1.5 kilometers away, abandoned in tall grass. When investigators examine the vehicle, they find the emptied metal transport boxes left behind. The cash is gone. Back at the initial stop point, the suspect left physical evidence, including the fake police motorcycle, now covered by a tarp on the rain-slicked road. This visualization contrasts the single thief against the massive manhunt that follows. Over the next several years, authorities mobilize 170,000 police officers, bringing a staggering 110,000 individuals under investigation. Detectives pursue countless leads, including the aggressive interrogation of a 19-year-old police officer's son. He dies of cyanide poisoning days after the robbery. No stolen money is ever found in his possession, and he is never officially linked to the crime. The massive volume of physical evidence and the enormous influx of manpower produces a paralyzing amount of data. The investigation is soon overwhelmed by noise. In 2026, a reinvestigation by NHK utilized 180 new interviews to examine why the original police effort, despite its size, failed to reach a conclusion. Former detectives admit the initial response was deeply disorganized. Here, a large team of investigators crowds a public phone booth to dust for prints, while the suspect was already miles away. Critical witness accounts were dismissed in the early chaos. A high school girl who saw the thief's bike noted specific visual details that suggested it was a fake, but her unease was ignored by authorities at the scene. This map shows the primary crime scene alongside a location 20 kilometers away where a second motorcycle was discovered. This shattered the assumption the suspect remained within a small perimeter. By the time police focused here, the trail was cold. The failure wasn't due to a lack of effort, but a lack of direction. By scaling up a manhunt based on a flawed perimeter and ignored testimony, the police effectively organized themselves into a state of paralysis. 7 years pass. Investigators exhaust a budget of nearly 1 billion yen, but on December 10, 1975, the statute of limitations expires. Under the law, the expiration meant the person behind the disguise was now officially beyond the reach of the justice system. The investigation was further limited by a fatal oversight in security protocols. Of the nearly 300 million yen stolen, only 2,000 of the 500 yen notes had their serial numbers recorded. Not a single one of those recorded notes was ever identified in circulation. The entire physical fortune vanished without leaving a traceable footprint in the Japanese economy. The money and the man who took it disappeared entirely. Half a century later, the deception on that rainy road remains a permanent blank space in the historical record.